Top 10 morning, guys. Breakfast of Champions coffee. My name is Ben Corcoran from Benzochess, here with another video, and I'm really excited to show you guys this game that I have here against an expert. Actually, it's my first victory ever against any experts. I lost plenty, drew some with almost winning some of those games. Maybe I can post a couple of those games up in the future, but this one's the most exciting one. I actually won this one. This one's just awesome. So, Clark McCutcheon, he's 2889, and I'm 1604. So, okay. So let's get the game rolling here. I am white, and Clark McCutcheon is black. I started off with D4, and he's bringing his knight out. C4, G6, so it looks like he's going to be playing the King's Indian system. I played F3, which is known as the Samish variation, and you can play the Samish against 3 total openings I know of right now. I believe it's Benoni, King's Indian, and a Grunfeld. Okay. After Bishop E4, so now I got this nice, attacking the center here, and he's slowly gonna attack the center with D6, Knight E2, which blocks my bishop, but it's part of the Samish. I can jump here or over here. A6 is not normal in the King's Indian defense, but with the Samish like this, I've seen this played plenty of times. Bishop to E3, developing. Develop is always good. Developing by black. Develop. And developing's good because you want to bring all your pieces out. And rook to B8. He's actually aiming at pushing this pawn here and trying to launch an attack on the flank. And so right now we have to kind of count, okay, once he launches this, he has 2 protectors. I only have 2 attackers, but at the end of the day he'll be winning because he'll still have a piece over here. But the trade should be about, no it's not. Okay, so I have to move my knight because it's blocking my bishop on this diagonal. Move the knight like that. Get the Grogan voice out. Breakfast of Champions. I love it. Okay. So now it sounds the same, but who cares? Let's get this game going. Okay. So then I got this variation thing. I was trying to figure out what he could have done. I'll move over so you guys don't see it. He played A5. And I'm starting to get a little confused now. Like, is he going to ever castle? Is he going to stay in center? Is he going to battle for the center at all? I don't know during the game. So I just kept on improving my position by bringing the bishop out. Now he attacks the center. I was debating between knight to E2 again or pushing, and it seemed like pushing was the best because I was gaining space, making him a little more cramped because you can't really push as many pawns out. And I'm going to have time to improve my position, maybe start a queenside attack. He brings his knight back, which is normal. I brought my queen out here, and bring my queen out here before castling. So this actually opens the door for 3 things. I can castle a kingside over here. I could castle a queenside, which I'm debating because of this pawn. And this is kind of normal because against the King's Indian, I can castle queenside and then try to bring my other rook over here and attack the king side. Also with these two thoughts of attacking the king side too. So still was planning to play b5 here with this bishop move, and I had a choice in a lot of King Indian defenses. I know that white does play c5 here sooner or later, sometimes even with b4 than c5. So here I felt that, well, c5 is really good. c5 is really good right now.
What's going on here?
The c5 push, it's usually an attacking move, starting to attack this pawn, which usually is the backwards pawn. It's either connected with another pawn, you'll create it as a backwards pawn right now, or something else been with this pawn, you actually attack it and create a lot of weaknesses. So, or even if they take, you take back, and then you got a possible passer. So that's a good thing about the c5 push here for white against the King's Indian defense. And now, finally, black castles to the king side. So, okay. And here, I decided to play a4. I was debating if I wanted to take b4, a4, castles. I had so many different options. So, and this is one of those big moves that took forever to take in the game. So I decided to play a4 to support b4 in case if he pushes. Also thought about playing b4 next move, but there's a lot of calculations in this move. I didn't know which one was the best one. Okay, carry on, and it's a5. Okay, with a5, he surrenders, you know, the big attack with b5 because he doesn't have the extra pawn. I'm really happy about that. I still have a lot of moves I could think of as bringing back bishop, jumping the knight, attacking the king side, castling, or taking the pawn. But right now I decided to take the pawn. I thought it was a good time, and then bring my knight out to attack the pawn, which this is a backwards pawn now. So I gotta quickly bring all my pieces outside and start attacking. That's what my game plan is. But I just still feel that I have this kingside attack over here. But once he brought his knight back, this piece is gonna start being overloaded. So there has to be tactics somewhere. But I just couldn't find it. After consideration, debating, what should I do? I decided to castle. I thought, take my time building up over here. I should do pretty well. He brings his bishop back. I was really debating with bishop here, bishop takes, king takes, queen here, followed by knight jumping here. Hopefully it will be a check at the time, and he can't take because queen will be lining up. King will run away. My queen will check. Maybe blocked by the knight and checkmate. Something like that. I was looking at something like that too. I also thought if knight takes here, but this knight needs to run away first. So, only because this bishop moved out. Okay, that's what I was looking at. But after rook to c1, I did not realize, and a couple moves later, why you moved that bishop. Okay, he pushes pawn. I think has his down pretty well right now. I gotta break this open with something like b5 and have my queen hit that too. Rook to c3, planning on, you know, I just lifted my rook. I was gonna double up, put my queen here, and just have this huge attack on this file. He decided to bring his knight back to d7. And looks like he's going to jump here, which I'm not too happy about. I wish he couldn't do this. So maybe the previous move I should have brought my bishop here and took his knight. Something like that. Okay. So now I bring the bishop over there. A little bit delayed. I probably should have attacked his other bishop. But I think that was a wasted move on my part. It's getting low on time here. So he attacks me with f6. I bring the bishop back. And now his knight has a nice outpost here. So after a little bit of thinking, I did not want to trade right now. I want to improve my position and start some sort of attack, open something up where I feel I'm a little bit better. So I moved my bishop over to protect some squares, and then I gotta move this rook over somewhere, and then I can push this pawn and start breaking this up. That's what my current plan is. The kingside attack is not gonna work anymore. His king move, I don't know why. Also, Breakfast of Champions. Oh, I love coffee. Okay. So, and now I bring my other rook back to a3. So now I'm doubling up on a closed file. Only because I'm planning on breaking this up and opening it up. That's the plan. Stan. Okay. Knight to e7. Right there. That's supporting this square right here when he pushes the pawn, and then he's going to either take or push again. That's what he's trying to do. I push my b pawn, so I can break things open over there. He pushes, okay. Now if I just leave these two guys there, and a nice fork for him, I won't be happy. I got to retreat. He pushes over there. No one's protecting this, so he's thinking he's going to win a pawn over here, but I'm going to win it back over here. So I move my knight. Takes, takes, takes. He wins a pawn for a half a second, and then I take it back, so it's even game. Okay. He brings his knight back because he has to guard this pawn here, block the queen's path. I push. I gotta break things open. I feel his pieces are still, feel cramped over here, and mine's are just enjoying the space here. So that's why I pushed. Takes, takes. I feel it's okay for me to start trading off here. Takes, takes. Knight jumps, attacking my bishop here. I did not want to trade and move it over. He wants to trade right now, but I want to improve a little bit more. And before I trade, I want to maybe win something. We're just even right now. I decided to do a rook check, and I'm getting low on time. I think he should have just played rook here, or even bishop here. Rook here or bishop here, and I think he's good. He has nothing to worry about. So he decides to move his king back, and I'm like, thank you, I win a pawn. Bishop takes, knight takes, and gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm eating that pawn. Okay. So now the trade market is just going down. We just did the beginning. And after his king moves again for some reason, I don't know why, I decide to, I'm going to trade. Trading is always good. Well, not always, but most of the time. Okay, so I take his bishop. He takes back. And this time I decided to push. And I was low on time. And I thought I can create something. Okay. He has attacked my pawn. I decided, well, if you're going to take my pawn, I'm going to take your knight. He wants to trade back. I doubled up. This is a threat. Pigs on the 7th, we call it, because they're both on the 7th rank. Okay, he takes, and now I still make the threat. I can take his knight if he takes my pawn. So he moves his knight. I push my pawn. He jumps with his knight, attack my bishop. I move my bishop. He brings his king out, and now I threaten to, hopefully takes queens and everything else. He brings his king out. I move back. He brings his other knight, and trying to calculate how I can get this knight into the game. So that's what I started doing. Knight to c3. He brought his king back. I jump my knight right here to attack these two squares. I'm trying to bait which way to go. I seen his rook went that way. I saw a possible fork. So I brought my knight back. He blocks my knight. And then I make a slight mistake here. I play knight here for the ultimate fork, where I actually missed rook takes first. I should have done rook takes, because then if rook takes then play this move, I would have forked where the rook should be right now, the black rook, and then his king. So if I would have took his knight, that would be game. So he takes, I take his rook. He can't take my rook with his knight, otherwise I queen. So he takes with his king. I take. He attacks me. I go back. He pushes his pawn. I'm just in blitz mode. I can't even think. Then I brought my king. Then I take. He's trying to block me so he can take my pawn for free. I'm like, no way, Jose. And then a very simple endgame here. And not much to explain over here. It's just king and pawn. And maybe another 5 moves here, but it's king and queen versus king. Should be pretty simple to finish off. So that will be the end of the game. So I got my first victory against an expert. I thank you guys for watching this video. I will have plenty more videos for you guys in the future, so stay tuned. Hopefully you guys like this video. Like, share. Thank you.